Hey. Hey, welcome back to Bug Bites, the show where we dive into the world of Spider-Man one story at a time. Last time, we started all the way back in 1962 with Amazing Fantasy number 15, the comic that kicked everything off. But today, we're going to be swinging forward into the world of animation, specifically 2008's Spectacular Spider-Man. And honestly, a lot of fans consider this one of the best adaptations of Spider-Man ever put on screen. I'm going to redo that line. A lot of fans consider this one of the best adaptations of Spider-Man ever put on screen. The series kicks things off with Spider-Man already established. There's no origin story, no radioactive spider, no Uncle Ben flashback. He's already out here web-slinging, cracking jokes, and stopping crooks. In the very first scene of the show, Spidey swings in to foil yet another robbery by Flint Marko and Alex O'Hearn. Yep, future Sandman and Rhino. But here they're just bumbling muscle for hire. I think this little detail is great because it plants the seeds for what's to come without really rushing into big transformations. Behind the scenes, we get our first glimpse of the criminal underworld. Hammerhead and his boss, known only as the Big Man, are watching Spider-Man's every move. Fun fact, the Big Man was originally a character from Amazing Spider-Man number 10 back in 1964. Where he ran the Enforcers. The show takes inspiration from that and uses him as a shadowy kingpin type of guy pulling strings in the New York crime scene. Then we cut to Peter Parker's real world, and like always, it's not easy. He overhears Aunt May stressing about bills with her neighbor Anna Watson. Peter wants to help, but he's also just a teenager about to start school again. This is something Spectacular Spider-Man does so well. They balance the superhero action with the grounded everyday struggles for Peter Parker. In fact, Greg Weisman, the showrunner, once said that the heart of the show was about balancing the three worlds of Peter's life: high school, home, and heroics. Meanwhile at Oscorp, we get introduced to Adrian Toomes, an inventor that's furious with Norman Osborn because he stole his flight designs. Osborn insults him, calls him a buzzard, and dismisses him entirely.
Listen, you old buzzard. You've been at this for decades without one success to your name. If you never accomplished anything as a young man, who'd believe you created tech flight as an old one?
This is classic Norman, smug, ruthless, manipulative, whatever you want to say about him, it's there, it's on the table. But it's here that we meet another key figure. We get to meet Dr. Otto Octavius. At this point, he's just a meek scientist working under the Osborn thumb, but we all know where that's headed. I think that's what's really cool about the show, is it takes the time to set up the villains. Toomes doesn't just show up as the Vulture out of nowhere. His anger and humiliation push him into that role. Every villain in the show feels like they grow organically out of the story. Back at Midtown High, Peter is still the same old Parker. Flash Thompson and Kenny Kong rough him up. Sally Averill shuts him down, and his social life is a mess.
Are you damaged?
He did.
Why in the world do you think I'd ever go out with Midtown High's champion geek?
But there's a silver lining. Both Peter and Gwen Stacy get picked for an internship at Empire State University with Dr. Kurt Connors. This is the same lab where Peter originally got his powers, tying everything back together. And it gets even better. Their old friend Eddie Brock shows up. Fun fact, in this show, Eddie is written as more of an older brother figure to Peter, which makes what eventually happens between them hit way harder. Oh, it's hard to breathe in this frickin' jacket. Of course, Toomes isn't done. He suits up in his winged harness and comes after Norman Osborn, officially calling himself the Vulture. Norman, being Norman, refuses to back down. Just as the Vulture is about to get revenge, Spider-Man swings in to save the day. And here's something worth noting. The action scenes in Spectacular Spider-Man are top tier. They're fast, creative, and packed with character. Every fight feels like a chess match where Spidey has to outthink his opponents and not just overpower them. But Vulture isn't the only threat here.
Need a workout now, no turning tail.
Seriously, who are you guys?
The Big Man sends the Enforcers, Montana, Fancy Dan, and Ox. Yes, those are real names. Which is another fun comic connection. These guys were some of Spider-Man's earliest villains, dating all the way back to Amazing Spider-Man number 10. The show updates them a little, but they still play the same role. Hired muscle with unique fighting styles that keep Spidey on his toes. And honestly, the coolest part about it, they actually managed to give Spidey some serious trouble. The climax is classic Spider-Man chaos. Norman Osborn flees into his limo, Vulture swoops after him, the Enforcers pile on, and Peter is stuck in the middle. He manages to outsmart Vulture, tricking him into destroying one of his own wings in a helicopter rotor, which is actually a very clever solution.
Did you really think you could hide from me? me there!
But even though Spider-Man wins the battle, the enforcers slip away, and the big man is still out there pulling strings. It's a win, but not a total victory. After all that, Peter heads home, only to find Aunt May waiting up. She sets a 10 p.m. curfew. Spider-Man might save the city, but Peter Parker is still grounded. And yet, the episode ends on a sweet note. Aunt May gives him a slice of banana cream pie. And that's really Spider-Man in a nutshell for you. A life full of chaos, danger, and responsibility, but also small human moments that make it all worth it. So that's episode 1 of the Spectacular Spider-Man series. Honestly, I think it's a perfect pilot. It gives us action, humor, drama, and it sets up long-term storylines, all while reminding us why Spider-Man resonates so much. And just like Peter says at the end, tomorrow is another day, and hey, at least there's pie. Thanks for tuning into Bug Bites. If you like this breakdown, stick around. We'll keep swinging through Spider-Man's world one story at a time. Later.